Hi, History Channel. I'm Danielle, and this is Qiana.
Hey, y'all.
She's an alumni. She graduated last year, and as you can see, you're being recorded. So let's start this little interview. Okay. So the first question is, where are you from?
Well, I was born in Fort Irwin, California, because my dad is active duty military. So I was born on a military base there.
Okay. So what made you come to Texas?
Well, my dad is from Texas, but we were just stationed in El Paso. So I was like, well, let me come here.
Okay. Okay, so what do you remember from your childhood?
Girl, there are so many memories from our childhood. My childhood was lit. Let's see. I guess my best memory of my childhood would have to be traveling to Jamaica. Which we do often, but like the first time I went, I was 4.5. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun.
So during your childhood, did your parents ever explain to you things about racism or how it happened?
Yes.
They did?
Yes, all the time.
How did you respond?
Well, at first I didn't understand because I was like maybe 10, and I've never like been put in a situation where my race was an issue. So I think when I was like 12, my dad like kind of re-explained it to me because we were in East Texas, where he's from. He's from a town called Carthage, Texas. It's so small. It's like this big. And my uncle had gotten into an altercation with someone at the grocery store, and they had called him the N-word. And I was like, ooh, like what is that? You know, so I had talked to my dad about it, and he was telling me, you know, like, this is what happened, all the way from like slaves to, and it wasn't like the generic version you get in school. I got what you get in school, but I didn't really like understand in depth how deep race is, you know. So yeah.
So talking about school and things, so when you were in high school, middle school, you got the typical version of slavery.
Yeah, I definitely got the history book version. Like I always got Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. I never got like people who was really like, putting in work, or people who were really like you know, into the movement as much.
Right. Okay, so how did you get to learn more of the actual history, the actual timeline, and the actual people that actually did something?
Honestly, after that one altercation, and my dad had explained it to me, me and him, we just went on like a binge. Like now, that's like our thing now. Like anything African American history related, we're on it. Like we go to museums. So it definitely was like a personal interest after that. Like I wanted to know more. I took more of an initiative to like learn. So YouTube, books, anything I could really get my hands on at that time was really like what I was interested in. Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever experienced a racial thing that was against you?
No. I haven't. I do not know like what it feels like to be put second to someone that's like in a different race than me. I've never had someone call me out my name. You know, nobody's called me the N-word or anything like that. I haven't.
Really?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No, not really. No.
Nothing that I could like that, especially nothing that offended me or made me feel uncomfortable. I haven't ever missed out on any opportunities because I was black or anything like that. Like I've never. That's never happened to me.
Yeah, so how do you interact with people outside of your race?
Like they are my race.
Really?
Yeah, I don't look at that kind of stuff. I really don't. Like to me, it doesn't matter. Just don't disrespect me. Don't, you know what I'm saying? You people know what's right and what's wrong to say regardless of your race. I know what to say to make a Mexican person feel you know, some type of way about their race. They know what to say about a black person. So I just don't cross those lines with them, and there's an open understanding that you don't cross that line with me.
Right. Okay, so do you agree with all the things that's happening when people always try to separate things because of black people and Caucasian people? Like, do you agree with it, or just more of an argument people trying to make?
I don't know. That's such a touchy subject because I feel like it could be circumstantial.
Mm-hmm.
If there's two individuals getting into it and things are said about each other's race because they're two different races, that is a problem.
Yeah.
If you see someone deliberately belittling someone else because of their race, that is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because your bus driver was white and you was late to the bus stop and he kept going, that has nothing to do with you being black.
Right.
End of the day, you were late. It has nothing to do with you being Mexican, nothing with you being white and your bus driver was black. Regardless of the situation, there's other variables that are put into play. And I do not believe that race is always the go-to. You know what I'm saying? If it's me and a white girl and she's more qualified than I am, or me and her have the same qualifications, but she has a little bit more experience, you know, or something like that, she beat me out. It takes a half a second, you know what I'm saying, for someone to be better than you, not necessarily their race.
Right. So how do you feel about the Trayvon Martin and the Michael Brown case?
Oh, man.
Do you feel it was more about racism or is more because they actually did something?
Ooh. Man, okay. Let's explain this. Everybody has their own take on the situation. From my knowledge, like what I've watched on the news and everything like that, especially we'll start with the Mike Brown. The Mike Brown, what I seen on the news was a young man, he got into an altercation at the corner store. They showed like a video of him at the corner store or whatever. And he was, you know, trying to rough up the sales clerk or whatever. And then I guess the situation went outside. He was walking home on his business. This is after the incident inside the store. And he was walking in the middle of the street. Now, this is what I got from the news. He was walking in the middle of the street. Police officer asked him to get out the street. Things went from there. If a police officer asks you to do something, you do it.
Right.
You do it. Just don't even. I know, just out of respect for authority, because that's what they are. They are authority. You just get out the way. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's from the news. Now, from what I got from the news and him being shot that many times, 110% was that wrong. Do I think that it was because he was black and he was walking in the middle of the street? No. I have to be honest. But that's just what I got from the news. I wasn't there. Right. So I can't say what really happened. Now, if the police officer did gun him down like that because he was black, of course that's out of line. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't condone anything like that. I don't condone excessive shooting regardless. I feel like he should have shot him once in the kneecap, in the foot, or something. Because to me, that's a child. Right. I still feel like it was wrong. Because you don't shoot someone that many times. Right. You know what I'm saying?
They already did.
Really? There's 80 y'all in cop cars, and he's by himself. Y'all don't need to shoot him that many times. If the boy didn't want to move or anything like that, once. Right. In an area that won't completely, you know, end his life or something like that. Trayvon Martin... For me, I felt like it was intentional. I do. I really feel like it was intentional because, just like watching the news, said that Andrew Zimmerman called, said, "Hey, I see a young man. He looks suspicious. Blah blah blah." Okay, mind your business. They asked him. They said, "Okay, thank you for reporting it. We'll have someone come check it out." Right. He was being nosy. You know what I'm saying? If I was walking by myself and I seen someone following me, I'm gonna be threatened and I'm gonna have my guard up. Right. And then if you approach me, and you approach me in a disrespectful manner, or you make me feel uncomfortable, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. He was. I feel like he was reaching and his arm wasn't long enough because they told you, leave him alone. We'll come check it out. you went from being neighborhood watch to top flight security in 30 seconds.
Right.
And that wasn't his call. That wasn't his move. After the young man passed, I feel like there wasn't no remorse on his side as well.
Right.
That, to me, bothered me. Like, me and my brother, we watched the trial. I was pissed. I was so upset because I was just like, that is wrong. That is wrong. Because at the end of the day, that man didn't follow directions.
Right.
And that's something you learn in like kindergarten. Follow directions.
Right.
If the police officer tells you, leave the little boy alone, leave him alone.
Right. Okay, going to a different topic, would you rather go to a predominantly white school, college, or would you want to go to a HBCU?
Well, before I did come to TSU, I went to Grand Canyon University, and a majority of the students were white. And I have to say that the overall experience, not even just my education, I wouldn't go back.
To Grand Canyon?
Yeah. Right here was exactly where I needed to be. I learned so much. There was so much that I was blind to. And especially the race situation.
Right.
There was so much that I didn't know, didn't understand, and that I've learned by being at TSU, which is a predominantly black as a HBCU. And they're absolutely right when they say you don't get no experience like it.
Right. Okay, so how important are HBCUs to you then?
They're very important because I do believe in the idea of African Americans bettering each other. I feel like before we can discuss another race putting us down, we should discuss putting each other down. And being at an HBCU, I've seen other African Americans help other African Americans get to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like me and you need help. I'm like, okay, I'll help you. You know me, I'll help you. If I needed something from another African American, I find comfort knowing that at TSU there is going to always be someone that's going to be able to help me.
All right, thank you.
No problem. I'm glad I can
Thanks
help
for
you.
watching, guys.
Bye.